Hello friends, in this video we are going to be doing portrait skin retouching in Adobe Photoshop with just skinfiner. This is Twisted Creative. Alabi Man is my name. If it's your first time on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not just hitting that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the next video. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. This is the image we are going to be using. Let's zoom in. So if you take a look at this image, you have some blemishes and distractions within the face. We're going to be removing the blemishes, but before we start removing the blemishes, we have to use our Ctrl J to duplicate this file so that we have an extra copy here, so I can see the before and after. Which is, we are going to rename it as main. We are going to be working on this now. Then let's select that main image. Then we'll go to our tools and we'll right click here. Then we'll see patch tool. We are going to be using patch tool. So we are going to be zooming in and we're going to circle around the blemishes and move them to a better position. Then we're going to circle around it and move it, trying to heal the blemishes. Before you move it, make sure it's close by, and the tone, let me say, like this area now is like almost to the shadow area. You have to take between, you have to select within that area so that it's going to match. So I'm not supposed to be picking this kind of spot for this kind of dark place. So if I take it this way, it's going to be too bright for this stuff like this. So I'm going to take it close like this. Is either I take it this way or here. Even if I take it to this direction, it's still wrong. So I'm going to take it close by. So if you take a look at it, it's just like exactly the original skin. So let's circle it like this, and so is either we'll take like this or like this. Let's try this part, and if you notice, if you take a look at it, you notice that it has something like whatever, I don't understand there. So I have replaced this. So I'm going to be moving this area, it's either upward or downward like this. It's going to be fine. So this is it. I'm going to be moving this line also, then this line going to be up or down, so it's okay. So I'm going to fast forward this so that it's not going to take us much time. So I'm going to circle around and move, circle around and move. Before we continue, if you make your selection like this, let's say you circle around this spot, then you drag it to another spot like this. So how do you get rid of this selection? You just have to click the outside. Just click the outside, is gone. So we have to select, drop it, click outside, and it's gone. So that is what I want to let you know. Okay, let's continue. So now we have the blemishes and distractions out of the way. We'll have to hold Control, hold our Shift, hold our Alt, then add our E to it to create a stamp visible layer, which is this layer on top. We are going to be using this top layer now for the skinfiner. So with this top layer selected, we'll go to Filter, then we'll go to Photo Toolbox, then Skinfiner. If you don't have skinfiner, comment skinfiner. So this is skinfiner. Let's zoom in. So if you take a look at the skin now, there's a little bit of, okay, let's see it side by side like this. Let's zoom in so as we'll be seeing the difference. This is one with the effect, and this is one without the effect. So if you take a look now, you notice that the effect has been placed on this image, but we don't want it exactly like this. This is the default effect, so we have to push it forward a bit. Let's push the fine to, let's say 50 for now. Let's see 50, what 50 can give. Then let's zoom in and see how it's going to look. So this is what we have for 50. I'm going to take this amount down a bit. So we don't want this effect to be too much on the skin, so let's see, bring it down. Let's bring the amount down. The reason why we are bringing the amount down, because we want this pause to be visible, so we have to bring it down. At least like 40 is okay. We can see okay, let's see, bring it down to 36. Then we can move this, we can move the fine to 60 or thereabout. Let's say 65. But all images are not the same. You can try within that range and see what suits your image. So let's see what we can get from this. This is 68 and 36. So let's move this thing backward a bit to see more of the details. Okay, I think this guy is okay here. If you take a look at this preview here, you notice that we have the face, part of the shoulder, and the chest here. If you don't know how to manipulate the skin selection for skinfiner, there's going to be a video coming up for that, so take notes. So this is what we have here. We are going to add to this selection because the selection is not complete, so we have to go to this spot now, have to move it to, if you take a look at this box now, take a look at this preview. Let me pull this color away from here, and if I pull it away, you can see that we no longer have the face there. So we can push until we have the image selected. Then you notice that we don't have parts of the face. Like if I zoom out, you notice we still have the arms and but they are not complete here. So let's go by taking this guy away from this angle, take it up, bring it down. At least you can see what is happening there. Let's concentrate on the face and make sure the face is completed. So we have everything selected here. Let's still go by pushing this fine forward, or let's take the amount up a bit so as to have it smoothened. So let's leave the amount at 37 and hit OK. So this is what we have. If you take a look at this face, it's looking fine. It's looking beautiful. So we are going to use Ctrl-Alt-F to repaste the skin finer that we just did on this image. So we're going to use Ctrl-Alt-F. So it's going to paste the same selection on this image. Okay, this is what we have now by doubling it. We have to pick our history brush, then zoom in, then we'll reduce the brush when necessary and increase it when necessary. Then we'll go to our opacity and make sure it's 100, then the flow at 100 also. Then we can increase and reduce the brush. So we are going to be removing the skin smoothing from the areas we don't want it to be on. So we are going to be removing it from the eyes area like this. You can also go to this eyebrow and make sure it's removed from that part. We are going to reduce the brush and make sure we clean up the lip also. Then after cleaning the lip, you go to your opacity, reduce it to like 30% or thereabouts. Then you can clean any other place that you don't want this stuff to be too strong on, like these areas, like the nose top. Then I think we are good to go. Increase the brush size, then make sure you are at 100% opacity and 100% flow. Then clean up the hair area because sometimes it does affect the hair. So we are going to select this layer 1. We have to right click it and convert to smart objects. So go to filter, order, then high pass. We are going to apply 3 first, then hit OK. So we'll double click on this slider icon here to bring out the blending options. Then we can click on the mode to change it to linear light. As it has been changed to linear light, then we can change the opacity here. Can drop the opacity. So we are going to be taking it from 0. We are going to be lifting it up until we see the pause. So we are going to be taking it up. So we'll have it at 46% and it's like this. It's getting too much. Let's bring it down a bit. Let's say, okay, let's zoom out, because if you look so closely you'll be confused. Okay, so let's zoom in and out. Okay, so this is when zoomed out. Then we can take it up again to increase it a little. I think it should be okay by 50. Let's say 50. 50% is okay. Then we hit okay. You can come back and change it later, as long as it's a smart object. So this is what we have. Look at how the face is looking now. You can see the pores, everything is visible, like normal frequency separation stuff. So this is the image, and this high pass will just apply to this image. We don't want it on the entire image, we want it on just the face and the skin. So if you select this white box here, which is the layer mask that came with the filter, you select it and use your Ctrl I to invert. You can see that the effect is going to be hidden from this image, because if I use Ctrl I, this is the effect. If I use Ctrl I again to hide it, which is turn the white into black, it's going to be hidden. Then we're going to pick our brush tool. Okay, make sure our opacity and flow is at like 80%. Our flow is at 80% also. Then we can increase our brush. Then we can brush in the effect like so. Isn't that amazing? So let's brush in the effect, and now you can apply it on the areas you want them to be on. So we can apply on the nose top like this area that is blurry. You can make it this way. Isn't that amazing already? Look at the image. Okay, let's go to the body part. Okay, let's just add. We know that this area is a kind of blurry. Then we can add it here also. So this is the image. Isn't that amazing? We are going to be creating stamp visible layer with our Ctrl held down, then Shift held down, Alt held down. Then we are going to add E to it to create a stamp visible layer. We are going to be whitening these eyes. So we'll go to adjustment layer here. Then we'll choose hue and saturation. From this drop down here, we're going to choose red. Then we'll desaturate almost all the way down, like -80. Pick our lighting up to like 40. We are going to click on this box again and choose yellow. Then this time around we are going to be bringing yellow down also, the saturation of yellow down to -80 thereabouts. So we have it at -80. Then we're still going to take the lightness up to like 40 thereabouts. Then we are going to click on this layer mask here, use our Ctrl I to invert the layer mask. Then have to pick up our brush tool. Make sure our brush tool can be 100 or between 90 and 100. Then we can reduce our brush size. Then zoom in, reduce our brush size. We can paint on the eyes to whiten it up. Then you can reduce and do the same thing to this other side. So let's go to the other eye. So this is the image. Isn't that amazing already? So this is the image. Looking at this image like this, it's like it's professionally retouched, not like just skinfiner. Okay, and if you notice that it's too sharp, to your liking, you can go with holding your control down again, shift down, alt down, and add E to it to create another stamp visible layer. Then you can go to filter, photo toolbox, then skinfiner again for the second time, depending on you. So we are going to add this stuff. Let's zoom in and take a look at the image. With the recent addition of this 65 and 0 at fine, you can see reduce it. Let's zoom in again and see if we can reduce the amount. So what we are seeing here is a kind of perfect retouching. Okay, let's click on OK. Let's hold down our alt and click on this eye icon to see the general before and after. So we have to hold down our alt, then click it. This is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. Let's zoom out. Let's see again. So this is before and this is after. This is before, this is after. Isn't that amazing? Let's go ahead and add some shine to this image and see how it's going to look, how we're going to improve on it. Then we'll go to click adjustment layer and choose curves. Then we are going to blow it up, make it very light. Then double click on this box to bring out the layer style box. Then we have to take this black slider of the underlying layer forward to create this shiny look around the face. So we have to take a look at this area first. Then we have to hold down our alt and click on this angle to split it apart. Then we have to blend it to an extent. It's going to be smoothened and the transition is going to be fine. We are going to be leaving it here. Then hit OK. Then we're going to click on the layer mask and use our Ctrl I to invert the layer mask. Then we can zoom in and going to take our brush to make sure we are almost at 100% opacity and 100% flow. Then we can paint on the areas we want that little shine to be on. Then we'll go to this part of this face. We are going to be doing it separately. Then we're going to click on the adjustment layer and choose curves. We are going to blow it up very bright. Then double click here to bring out the layer style box. Then this black slider of the line layer, move it forward. Then you can leave it somewhere here where the shine are visible. Then you hold your alt to split the angle apart, then drag it forward to blend the transition. So let's increase it a bit. Then you can hit OK. Then go to the layer mask, use your Ctrl I to invert layer mask. With your brush selected, paint on that areas. Then we can apply a little here also, which is to click on the adjustment layer and choose curves, blow it up, double click the bring out layer style box, then drag the black slider of the underlying layer forward to make sure we have it a little on this part. Then hold our alt to split the angle apart, then spread it until the transition is very smooth. Then hit OK. Click on the layer mask, use our Ctrl I to invert the layer mask. Then we have to click on those areas. Click on the adjustment layer and choose curves. Then increase the brightness. Then double click to bring out layer style box here. Then we can drag the black angle of the underlying layer and move it to this spot to at least maybe this level should be okay. Then hold your alt to split this angle apart. You can drag it up to the end if you wish. Then you hit OK. Then go to your layer mask, use your Ctrl I to invert layer mask. Then you can start clicking on it so as to bring out shine. I think this image is okay. Then let's take a look at the chest and the shoulder. Let's go to adjustment layer and choose curves, increase the brightness, then double click to bring out layer style box. Drag the black slider on the line layer forward to see what we are going to be having on the chest region. Let's leave it this way. Let's leave it this way for the left side of the chest. Then we have to hold our alt, click and split the angle, then blend the transition. Let's want it somehow brilliant like so. We can spread it to blend the transition, then hit OK. Then click on the layer mask, use our Ctrl I to invert, then zoom in, go to that spot and just click. So interesting. Then go to the adjustment layer again and choose curves, boost it up the brightness, then double click or to bring out the layer style box, then move the angle forward to create the shine on this part of the chest. and it's going to be okay. Let it not be too bright. Then we have to hold our Alt to split the angle, then blend the transition. But this time around we are going to hit OK. We are going to select the layer mask, use our Ctrl I to invert, then we can click on this area like so. Then I think this spot is okay. Let's see the before and after. Let's select the first one and select the last one, then use our Ctrl G to place them in a group. Let's see the before and after. This is before the shine, this is after the shine. It makes the image interesting, isn't that? We are going to add brightness and contrast adjustment layer to this image, which is we are going to click on this adjustment layer, choose brightness and contrast, then we can increase or reduce the brightness to whichever way is going to be okay for us. Say a little contrast should be fine. Then we have something like this. Let's hold down our Alt, then click on this eye icon to see the before and after. So we have to click to see this is the before and this is the after. This is before and this is after. Isn't that amazing? If you watch till this extent, as I said earlier, you have to do us a favor. For this channel to continue growing, we'll have 50k subscribers target between now and some months. So you have to be one of those who will go make this channel grow and continue to run. So you have to hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment, and tell us what you want us to do next. Make sure to turn on your notification bell so that whenever any new video is released, you will be one of those that is going to see it first. Thanks for watching today's video. Creative people will keep on creating. See you in the next one. Bye for now.